Welcome to this stories. I lingered in the kitchen, my heart racing as I leaned against the counter, stirring my coffee with a trembling hand, pretending this was just another ordinary morning. My wife, Kimberly, sat across from me, lost in her phone, blissfully ignorant of the storm brewing just beneath the surface. I took a sip, letting the warmth wash over me, before whispering, "We need to finalize the divorce by Friday, so you can embrace your new life as a free woman." The spoon slipped from her fingers, echoing against the countertop, a sound that felt like a heart breaking in silence. Her heart raced, fingers trembling as they hovered over the screen, caught in a moment that felt both electric and wrong. For a heartbeat, I feared she was lost in her own world, but then I saw the flicker of panic igniting in her gaze as she finally turned to meet mine. Her eyes widened, a flicker of something unspoken passing between us, as if my words were a secret too heavy to bear. Then came the first instinct, a desperate denial. "What? What do you mean?" Her voice trembled, yet she managed a shaky laugh, attempting to brush off the moment as if it were nothing more than a cruel jest. I brought the warm cup to my lips, savoring the bittersweet taste that mirrored the ache in my heart. "Please, Kimberly, don't," I urged, my voice steady but laced with an unspoken longing. "We both understand the unspoken truth between us." Her lips parted, yet silence enveloped her. A choked, desperate whisper slipped from her lips before she willed herself to find her voice once more. "You're overreacting," she said quickly, her fists clenched tightly at her sides, a storm of emotions swirling just beneath the surface. "Text, I don't know what kind of nonsense you think you've got," I said, my voice low, cutting her off with a soft chuckle that lingered in the air between us. "Kimberly, please," I set my cup aside, my eyes locking onto hers with a mix of urgency and longing. "We both understand the truth that lingers between us, the secret you've kept with Zane for far too long. I've felt it in my heart, and now I can't bear it any longer. As I mentioned, we have to wrap up the divorce by Friday." Her face went pale. The name Zane struck her hard, like a thunderbolt. Her surprise was palpable, a flicker of something deeper passing between us. In that moment, I understood she thought I was oblivious, but the truth hung heavy in the air, unspoken yet undeniable. "You're mistaken." She shook her head, a mix of fear and longing in her eyes, retreating just enough to create distance, her heart pounding as she searched for a way out. "Text, I don't know where this is coming from," I whispered, my heart racing as I slipped my hand into my pocket. "I wished you would have the courage to admit it, just once." I reached for my phone, my heart racing as I unlocked it, then slowly turned the screen to face her. But, if you need a reminder, her gaze darted to the screen, and all the fire within her faded away. The hue faded away, leaving only a haunting, ethereal whiteness. The pictures held a quiet intensity, hinting at something deeper yet unspoken. No, I had been so careful, every move calculated. I didn't need scandalous hotel room photos to forget her. The images cut deeper than words could ever express. Snapshots of stolen moments, her laughter echoing in the dim light as she leans into Zane, her hand resting on his chest, a fleeting glimpse of joy that feels both exhilarating and wrong. Images of her slipping into his apartment while claiming to be stuck at work linger in my mind. I held the evidence close, each moment a sharp reminder of the love that slipped through my fingers, a story woven with secrets and heartache. Her breath caught in her throat as she stumbled back, the edge of the dining table biting into her palms as she sought refuge in its familiar presence. Her knees trembled, and in that moment, I glimpsed a raw vulnerability in her eyes that I had never seen before. You invaded my privacy." Her voice trembled, a fragile whisper that hung in the air, heavy with unspoken longing. I turned away, my heart racing. I couldn't help it. "Your carelessness hurt, Kimberly." I stepped closer, feeling the tension crackle between us as she seemed to shrink beneath my gaze. "You scattered hints like whispers in the dark, the late nights that stretched into secrets, the tantalizing lingerie I never had the chance to admire, and your unpredictable shifts from coldness to an overwhelming warmth that left me breathless. The most painful part? You believed I wouldn't see the truth hidden beneath your words." Her breath came in quick gasps, her heart racing as she gripped the edge of the table, caught in a moment that felt both thrilling and wrong. "No, You don't understand, she whispered, her voice trembling with urgency. It's not what you think, it's... Oh, just keep it to yourself. I let out a bitter laugh. Allow me to take a wild guess. Was it really a mistake? Did it really mean nothing? Or the one that makes my heart race? I wanted to share my truth, but the thought of causing you pain held me back. Her eyes glistened with unshed tears, yet my heart remained untouched. Her distress was palpable, a silent plea that twisted my heart, while her trembling lips whispered secrets of longing. It was supposed to sting. It should have made my heart race with doubt. Yet, I felt an emptiness that echoed with unspoken longing. My heart races at the thought of you, a secret longing that ignites a fire within me. Every stolen glance feels like a whisper of what could be, yet we tread carefully, aware of the boundaries that keep us apart. The thrill of the unknown pulls me closer, even as the world around us warns against it. In the shadows, our connection deepens, a beautiful ache that I can't resist. Leonard, please don't do this. She attempted once more, her voice trembling with unspoken feelings. Just hear me out. I tilted my head, a spark of longing in my eyes. Why must we hide this feeling, this connection that pulls us together like moths to a flame? It's a question that lingers in the air, heavy with unspoken desires and the thrill of the unknown. Did you even hear my heart break when you chose to be with Zane? Did you think about the wreckage you'd leave behind before you slipped into his embrace? Yes, I did. So, tell me, Kimberly, why should I even care anymore? She gasped, fighting for breath, for the fragile grip on her heart. It's a secret we share, a fleeting moment that ignites a fire within us. Every glance, every touch feels like a whispered promise, yet we know the world would never understand. Our hearts race in the shadows, craving what we can't openly embrace. It's a dance of longing, a bittersweet ache that pulls us closer, even as we know we must tread carefully. In this hidden space, we find solace, even if it's just for a heartbeat. It's so complicated, she breathed, her voice trembling with unspoken longing. A soft laugh escaped my lips, and I shook my head, feeling the weight of unspoken feelings linger in the air. No, it's truly quite simple, I whispered, my heart racing with the weight of unspoken feelings. Your promises lie shattered. You took a risk with our love. And now, it's over for you. The sound that slipped from her lips was a haunting echo, yet I remained unmoved. She was coming apart, her head shaking in a desperate attempt to reject the truth that loomed before her. I released a breath, heavy with unspoken feelings. Here's what I'm going to do, I whispered, my heart racing. By Friday, we will start a new chapter in our lives. The legal process will determine a fair resolution for both of us. No spousal support, no financial cushion. I understand that you have made your decision, and I will respect that. Her head snapped up, eyes wild. You can't do this to me, she hissed, her voice suddenly laced with venom. I gave you years of my life. You don't just get to throw me away like this. I arched an eyebrow. Funny, I was thinking the exact same thing about you. Her lip trembled. She was trapped and she knew it. Her fingers clenched and unclenched as she struggled for a counterattack. I hope one day we can both find peace with our choices. You believe you have it all figured out, that you're the one pulling the strings, but this choice could shatter everything you hold dear. I moved in, my voice dropping to a breathless hush. The only mistake I made was thinking you were the one I vowed to love forever. But that woman, she's a memory now, slipping through my fingers like sand. Her shoulders trembled as a quiet sob escaped her lips. Leonard, please, she whispered, her hand trembling as it reached for mine. Yet, I found myself retreating. Her outstretched hand seemed almost absurd, a fragile gesture amidst the web of lies and deceit that had woven between them. Now she craved to touch me? Is it really Friday? I whispered it one final time, glancing back at the door, my heart aching with every step away. Prepare yourself. I turned away, leaving her behind, broken and vulnerable, and realizing that, for the first time in our marriage, she had surrendered every bit of her power. Oh, how intoxicating it was. Kimberly's breath hitched, her fingers quivering as she gripped the edge of the dining table, a whirlwind of emotions swirling within her. In that moment, she was a fragile flower, trapped in a world that felt too big, too harsh. My heart ached for her vulnerability, a secret longing igniting within me. But deep down, I understood she would never simply resign herself to her destiny. She was not one to give in easily. They plot in the shadows. They twist and turn, pulling at the strings of desire. They lie, and right on cue, the mask of devastation began to shift. First came the crocodile tears, her eyes welling up as she tried to summon the soft, vulnerable wife I had once loved. "Leonard, please," she whispered, voice cracking. "I know I messed up, but you're rushing into this. We can fix this. We can go to therapy. I'll do anything." I laughed. I actually laughed. The audacity was astounding. "You'll do anything?" I echoed, tilting my head. Where was that desperation when you were sneaking off to Zane's place? Or when you were telling him you felt alive for the first time in years? Her eyes widened, and I saw the flicker of pure panic in them. She hadn't realized I had read her messages that thoroughly. I leaned in slightly, watching her squirm. "Or do you only care now because I refuse to be the safety net you assumed I'd always be?" She opened her mouth, then shut it, her throat working as she scrambled for a response. And there it was, the second stage of her defense. Gaslighting. "This isn't fair," she said suddenly, her tone shifting. Her tears dried up, her spine straightening. "I know I made a mistake. But what about you? You've been distant for months. You never even tried to make things exciting between us." The classic "it's your fault too" card. I crossed my arms. "So let me get this straight. You cheated. But somehow, it feels like I wasn't captivating enough for you." Her lips trembled, holding back unspoken desires. "Your absence lingered like a haunting whisper. Your world was consumed by work, leaving little room for us. Forever lost in your ambitions." I felt unseen, like a whisper lost in the wind. I let out a soft laugh, shaking my head in disbelief. "Instead of facing me with honesty, you chose to give yourself to someone else, leaving me to wrestle with the pain of your betrayal." Her jaw tightened, a storm of emotions brewing beneath the surface. Her heart raced as the weight of her secrets pressed down on her. She could feel the walls closing in, and the thrill of the forbidden tugged at her soul. "Leonard, my heart races at the mere thought of you." She tried again, her voice a whisper, tinged with a heart-wrenching ache. It was never merely about the touch. Zane heard me, and it felt like a secret shared in the shadows. In his presence, I felt seen, as if my heart whispered secrets only he could understand. I raised an eyebrow, a spark of intrigue flickering within me. "Why didn't you just come to me, Kimberly? Why pretend? Why hide in the shadows? Or was it the rush of secrecy that drew you in?" Her gaze fell, a silent confession of longing and regret. Whispers of longing linger in the air. That's what my heart whispered in the quiet moments. I inhaled sharply, my fingers wrapping around the warm cup once more. I took a slow sip, the tension thick in the air, before letting my next words hang heavy between us, charged with unspoken longing. "Your justifications mean nothing to me, Kimberly. You chose your path, and now I'm claiming what's truly mine." Her breath hitched. She felt herself slipping away, and the thought was unbearable. That's when the fire ignited. "Fine," she whispered, brushing away her tears. "Do you really want to shut me out like that? Take the leap. But don't you dare believe for a moment that I'll allow you to hurt me." There it is, that moment we both crave yet know we shouldn't. "You can't just discard me like I'm nothing," she hissed, her heart racing. "This marriage holds my heart, Leonard. If you believe I'll just turn my back and leave empty-handed, you're living in a fantasy." I smirked, the warmth of the coffee mingling with the thrill of the moment. "Do you really want to discuss what's right, Kimberly? Perfect. Let's whisper about what we desire." I set my cup aside, my hands clasped on the counter, eyes locked on her, a thrilling tension hanging in the air between us. I knew what I was doing, so I pressed on. Months ago, I sensed the storm brewing, so I sought my lawyer's counsel before the truth even dared to surface. And here's the thrilling twist: we have a postnuptial agreement. Her breath caught in her throat. I caught the fleeting glimpse in her eyes, the way her thoughts drifted back to that delicate moment almost a year ago, when I had nonchalantly suggested we revisit our legal papers to safeguard what was ours. She signed it in a heartbeat, believing it was merely a trivial formality, unaware of the weight it would carry in the shadows of her heart. And now it was her undoing. I reached into my pocket, my fingers trembling slightly as I retrieved the neatly folded document. With a quick glance around, I slid it across the counter, my heart racing at the weight of what it contained. "Just a reminder of what you promised," I whispered, my heart racing. Because you broke the trust between us, you leave with empty hands. Not a penny of my savings, no share of the house, and certainly no alimony. It's all mine, and I won't let go. Her expression shattered. That can't be real. Her breath hitched as she clutched the paper, trembling fingers racing over the words, each clause a whisper of what could never be. I never imagined it would come to this. You never imagined this moment would come. I did it all for her. Her face was pale, a storm of emotions brewing beneath the surface, as if the weight of their unspoken connection was too much to bear. Text, you can battle it out in court if that's what you choose, I said, a hint of indifference masking the tension in my voice. But my lawyer has already ensured that everything is secure. I just hope we both can find happiness in the future. Her lip trembled with unspoken longing. Leonard, please. I can't help but feel drawn to you, even if it feels wrong. I tilted my head, captivated by her vulnerable moment. What is it, Kimberly? Please, tell me. I dared to ask. Just one more chance, please. May you find a way to embrace the impossible. Or are you simply pleading for me to stay, afraid of the emptiness that would follow my departure? Her tears fell like whispered secrets in the night. I have nowhere left to turn, she murmured, her voice trembling with unspoken longing. It's not my burden to bear. With a heavy heart, I stood up, fingers trembling as I reached for my keys. It's a relief you have Zane by your side, isn't it? I took a step toward the door, but her voice, laced with urgency, stopped me in my tracks. Wait, she whispered, her voice trembling. I hesitated, not out of concern, but to savor the moment as she pleaded. She was trembling, tears streaming down her face as she clutched the counter, her only anchor in a storm of emotions threatening to pull her under. I have to let Zane go. I'll risk it all. Leonard, please, just don't. I exhaled softly, my heart racing as I turned to meet her gaze. What is it, Kimberly? Please, just tell me. I whispered, my heart racing. Don't let me feel the pain you caused me. She parted her lips to speak, but I raised a hand to silence her. Don't waste your words, I replied, my voice laced with ice. It's over. It was a Friday, the kind that held secrets in the air, where every glance felt electric and every moment was laced with unspoken desires. End this now, or I'll ensure you walk away with nothing but shadows of what once was. She crumpled to the ground, tears streaming down her face, a fragile heart laid bare. I kept my gaze forward, heart racing, as I stepped away, leaving everything behind. Let her sink into the world she built, for at last, after so long, I tasted the sweetness of freedom. As I walked away, her heart-wrenching sobs echoed in my mind, yet I forced myself to forget. Never again. I drove off, my heart aching, not because I wanted to go. I only wished to let her linger in the shadows of her own making. Kimberly was a whirlwind of thoughts, her heart racing as she sought an escape, for a woman like her would never surrender. They plotted in shadows, and I held my breath, eager for her next daring step. I returned home later that evening, bracing for the quiet that usually enveloped me. Instead, I stumbled into a moment that felt like it belonged to a dramatic tale, filled with unspoken desires and lingering glances. Kimberly sat on the couch, her eyes glistening with unshed tears, gripping a glass of wine as if it were her only solace. Beside her, Zane lounged, his arm resting casually behind her, exuding an air of possession that sent a shiver down her spine. The boldness nearly brought a smile to my lips. As I closed the door, a rush of emotions flooded over me. This feels like a thrilling twist. Kimberly let out a soft, trembling sigh. Leonard, please, can we just have a moment together? Zane flashed me a smirk, that infuriatingly confident look that only someone who believed he had me wrapped around his finger could wear. Yeah, Leonard, he said, his voice dripping with insincere concern. Perhaps we should gather together, just the two of us, and talk like we've been longing to do. I had to bite the inside of my cheek to suppress the smile, threatening to break free. They truly believed this could happen. Let me guess, I whispered, tossing my keys onto the counter, the air thick with unspoken tension. Kimberly reached out to you for help? I wondered if your presence would leave me breathless. Zane let out a soft laugh, a hint of disbelief in his eyes. No one, nothing of that sort. We hoped, just for a moment, to find a way to bridge the distance between us. So that's the game they were going to play. A charming facade, hiding a deeper game. Kimberly leaned in closer, her heart racing as she set her glass down, the air thick with unspoken words. Leonard, I understand that everything feels tangled right now, but it doesn't have to end this way. I can't bear the thought of us drifting apart. I raised an eyebrow, a spark of intrigue flickering within me. Unattractive? You've been with him for months while I was in the dark, and now you expect us to act like everything's fine? Her heart raced. I crossed a line I shouldn't have. A heart-wrenching error. But I can't bear to end it this way. We shared years, Leonard, filled with whispers and stolen moments. She lingered, a fragile smile trembling on her lips. My heart still aches for you. Zane nodded, his heart aching with unspoken longing. We can't help it. We only wish for everyone to leave with what their heart truly craves. There it is, that fleeting moment that makes my heart race. They were here for something far more dangerous than forgiveness. They were here for negotiation. Zane had money, not more than me, but enough that Kimberly probably thought she could set up a deal. Get me to agree to an amicable split where she wouldn't end up broke. She wasn't actually sorry. She was just afraid of losing everything. I sat down across from them, letting the moment stretch. I could see Kimberly fidgeting under my silence, glancing at Zane for reassurance. Finally, I leaned forward, resting my elbows on my knees. So what's the proposal? I asked, feigning interest. Kimberly perked up, exchanging a glance with Zane. Well, she began cautiously. We were thinking, maybe instead of rushing the divorce, we could work out a settlement that's fair for both of us. Zane nodded. Yeah, Leonard, there's no need for lawyers to drag this out. We can mediate, avoid all the nasty legal fees. I took a slow breath, pretending to consider it. Kimberly licked her lips nervously. I mean, I've given so many years to this marriage. I just don't think it's fair for me to walk away with nothing. There it is. A slow, secretive smile tugged at the corners of my lips. So, let me understand this clearly. You betrayed my trust. You deceived me. So, you really believe I owe you something for this? Kimberly's heart raced, her body tensing with an unspoken longing. I realized that's not what I intended. Zane raised a hand, silencing her words, the air thick with unspoken tension. Listen, please, just hear me out. Kimberly never expected to find herself here. Emotions intertwined, and sometimes hearts shatter. I let out a soft, bitter laugh. Are you saying that there are moments when wives give themselves to men who aren't their own? Kimberly's breath caught in her throat. Leonard, Zane's heart raced with a mix of longing and frustration. You don't have to be cruel about it. I let out a soft laugh, my heart racing as I shook my head in disbelief. Oh, Zane, do you truly believe you hold the reins in this tangled mess between us? Do you not feel it? His brow furrowed, the confidence in his eyes wavering. What does that even imply? I sank into the couch, my arms reaching out, craving the warmth of something just out of reach. You should have thought twice before stepping into my world, pretending to hold all the cards. Zane's gaze darkened, a flicker of something unspoken passing between them. What are you saying? I grabbed my phone, my fingers trembling as I tapped a few buttons, then carelessly tossed it onto the coffee table, the weight of unspoken words hanging in the air. The screen flickered to life, revealing a whispered conversation from the past. Kimberly's voice rang out, a haunting melody that stirred something deep within. Zane, I need time to sort things out before I can fully move forward. But Leonard is being so impossibly distant. He remains blissfully unaware of what we share in the shadows. Let me draw him in just a bit. All right. Zane's face drained of color. Kimberly froze, her breath caught in her throat, eyes wide with disbelief. I tilted my head, heart racing with unspoken desires. That was just 2 weeks ago. I feel like my trust was broken, and that's something I need to process. Kimberly awakened with a jolt. Leonard, that's not what I was trying to say. You're bending my truth. Zane, however, remained quiet, his heart heavy with unspoken words. I caught the flicker of thoughts racing through his mind. He was beginning to understand that Kimberly's intentions ran deeper than mere games. She was toying with his heart, just like he was with hers. But I still had more to say. I swiped again, revealing a hidden world of text messages from Kimberly to a friend, each word a whisper of something more. I let the phone slip from my fingers, landing softly on Zane's lap. His heart raced as he fought the urge to glance down. Then I caught a glimpse of it. Text. The instant it hit him, the weight of his foolishness crashed down like a wave. leaving him breathless and aching for what could never be. Zane believes we're destined for each other. Oh, he's thrilling. But let's face the truth. He's just a fleeting moment, a whisper of what could never be. If I can find a way, I'll finally break free from Leonard and embrace a new beginning with Zane. It feels like a secret we shouldn't share, but it's a thrill we can't resist, isn't it? Zane's face went pale, a rush of emotions swirling within him. He gazed at Kimberly, his jaw clenched tight with unspoken feelings. What is this madness? Kimberly's expression shattered like glass. Zane, my love, that's so yesterday. It wasn't my intention for Zane to leap up so suddenly that the couch wobbled. Beneath him, he transformed completely. You were just playing with my heart. His voice was a low, thrilling danger. Kimberly hurriedly climbed up, her heart racing as she reached for him. But I love you. I hold on to it tightly. He recoiled, his anger sharp as he pushed her hand aside. I feel betrayed and hurt by your actions. Kimberly's eyes were filled with a longing that tugged at my heart, silently pleading for me to take a risk. I picked up my phone, a smile creeping onto my lips, knowing the thrill of what was to come. May your hearts find a way through this tangled mess. By Friday, the papers will be on their way, sealing a chapter that feels both heavy and bittersweet. And with that, I ascended the stairs, leaving them to unravel in their own chaos. The morning greeted me with a hush that felt almost sacred. Not you, Kimberly. Not Zane. No more secrets. When I finally descended the stairs, the air was thick with the tension of their unspoken words. The wine glass Kimberly clutched slipped from her fingers, shattering on the floor, a poignant reminder of what could never be. Crimson traces marking the floor, a secret left behind. A chair tumbled to the ground, echoing the tension in the air. The air lingered with the remnants of their bittersweet encounter, a haunting reminder of the fragile moments they had shared under the cover of darkness. A sly smile danced on my lips. She felt trapped, her heart racing with the weight of unspoken desires. But that was just the beginning of my heart's turmoil. The last, heart-wrenching gamble. The warmth of victory lingered on my lips as I savored my coffee, but then my phone buzzed, shattering the moment. Kimberly, my heart races at the mere thought of you. My silence spoke volumes. In an instant, another message appeared. Leonard, please don't go. Just whisper my name. Then one more. I can't believe I let it happen. I can't bear the thought of losing you. Then there was one last moment that caught me off guard, making me laugh uncontrollably. Can we just return to the way it used to be? Oh, the bittersweet twist of fate. After months of deception and hidden glances, she yearned for a return to innocence. But could they ever go back? What was she feeling? That if her tears fell like rain, I would somehow erase all that stood between us? Her silence spoke volumes, a bittersweet ache that lingered in the air between us. She stayed silent, the weight of her choices heavy on her heart. She was texting, her heart racing, consumed by the weight of her secret regret. I turned away from the messages, savoring the last sip of my coffee, feeling a mix of longing and defiance. I had everything mapped out for today. Handing over the last papers, my heart raced with a mix of excitement and dread. That afternoon, I found myself alone with Edward, my lawyer, as we navigated the delicate dance of finalizing the paperwork. I had meticulously arranged every detail, making sure Kimberly would leave with empty hands and a heavy heart. I signed the final forms, my hand trembling ever so slightly, the ink flowing like a secret promise. Edward glanced at the papers, a knot tightening in his stomach. She won't like this at all. You're abandoning her to face the weight of her own choices alone. Perfect, I whispered, leaning back, my heart racing at the unspoken tension between us. She deserves every bit of it, even if it feels wrong. I was unraveling a part of my soul. I was trying to forget her, but my heart wouldn't let go. Kimberly's heart shattered. I reached out to Kimberly later that evening, my heart racing with a mix of excitement and trepidation. She answered just as the first ring faded away. Leonard, my heart races at the mere thought of you. Her voice trembled with longing, a whisper of desire. I dove in head first. I just sent the divorce papers to your email. It's finally over, but it feels like a piece of my heart is breaking. They must be signed by Friday, but my heart whispers for a moment longer with you. Whispers of longing linger in the air. In that moment, are you truly going through with this? I let out a soft breath, feeling the weight of unspoken feelings linger in the air. Kimberly, my heart races at the mere thought of you. You betrayed my trust for so long. You played with my heart, hoping to take what wasn't yours. Your heart raced at the thought of escaping with Zane. Why should I linger here? Her breath caught in her throat. My heart raced, caught in a whirlwind of emotions. Her voice barely broke the silence. I found myself tangled in a moment I shouldn't have embraced. But Leonard, it feels so wrong yet so right. I still love you, even if we shouldn't. A soft, bittersweet laugh escaped my lips. You're not in love with me, Kimberly. You can't help but cherish what I've offered you. She sniffled, her voice trembling with a hint of desperation. Text, please, we can take our time with this. We need to meet face to face. Just one more moment. I turned away, my heart racing. Not like this, Kimberly. It's over. Let go and walk away. Her voice trembled with longing. I'm lost, with nowhere to turn. Maybe you should have considered that before you let yourself fall into his arms. A choked cry escaped her, raw and unrestrained. I crossed a line I shouldn't have. My heart aches at the thought of being with Zane. I long for the life I once knew. I let out a soft sigh. You chose your path. Now, just bear the weight of it. Her breath hitched, a sound caught between despair and longing. In that moment, an emptiness washed over me, a silence where feelings once thrived. No anger, just a lingering ache of unspoken words and stolen glances. Only longing, just a breath of longing. I ended the call, my heart racing. The lingering echoes. By Friday, the ink was dry, sealing a secret that felt both thrilling and wrong. As the month drew to a close, Kimberly slipped away from my life, leaving an ache in her absence. Zane, my heart races at the mere thought of you. He felt a rush of betrayal wash over him, pushing her away as the truth of her deceit sank in. The connection they shared now felt tainted, a bittersweet memory of what could have been. She settled into a modest apartment, a stark contrast to the warmth and comfort we once shared. A friend confided in me that she was in deep pain, fighting battles I never knew about. She had scorched every connection, and now she found herself utterly alone, the weight of longing heavy in the silence. I won, but at what cost? The thrill of victory feels bittersweet, like a secret we can never share. Yet, above all, I felt an exhilarating sense of freedom. Last thoughts. Months slipped by, and there I was, alone on my back porch, the sky ablaze with colors as I cradled a whiskey, lost in thoughts of what could never be. For the first time in years, my heart found a fragile calm. No more whispered doubts in the dark. Enough with the deception. It's over with Kimberly. I smiled softly, lifting my glass as if to honor the memories we shouldn't have shared. To the choices we shouldn't have made, I whispered. Then I took a sip, and in that fleeting moment, I felt the weight of her absence linger, a bittersweet reminder of what could never be. Dear listeners, your whispers mean the world to us. Share your secrets in the comments. And if you feel the spark, like, share, and subscribe to keep this connection alive.